Those are 5 things I wish I learned before turning 20. I'm 22 years old and my life is not as good as it could have been if I learned all those 5 things before turning 20. Therefore, I'm gonna tell you those 5 things so that you do not make the same mistakes as I did. Now, if you're above 20, you can still learn those. I learned those things after turning 20. And while my life could have been better, it also could have been worse. Therefore, I still think you should learn those things no matter how old you are. It's always better sooner than later. But anyways, we will start from things that aren't that important to learn before 20 or basically early on, but rather it's things that I personally wish I knew before turning 20, and we will slowly move on towards things that everyone must know as early as possible. So, watch to the end. The first thing I wish I learned before turning 20 was how to ask girls out. Or more specifically, you should not wait for a girl to make a move. You need to make a move as a guy. So when I was in high school, I received a bunch of dating advice from blue-pilled boomers that told me, oh, you should friend zone the girl and then things will happen naturally. And so I friend zoned a whole bunch of girls, like a literal army of them. And I waited for at least one of them to make a move. None of them ever did. And now in my 20s, I learned that you as a man have to be the one who asks them on a date, for example, and stuff. However, now when I ask girls my age out, I always get the answer, I have a boyfriend. But the thing is, back in high school, most of those girls were still single and I had a chance, but I blew it because of all the boomers that grew up in the 60s and have no idea how the dating world works today. However, this is not that important of an advice because since I did not get to have fun in my teenage years, I now get to have fun in my 20s. And if I don't have fun in my 20s, I will have fun in my 30s once I become a high value man, hopefully. But now let's talk about something more important than dating. The gym. The second thing I wish I learned before turning 20 is how to properly work out. For example, that you have to work out consistently and you should do light weights for many reps rather than heavy weights for few reps, stuff like that. So I was privileged with having a gym in my high school and I would go there several times. But guess what? That was all a waste of time because I did not know how to work out. And now that I eventually learned how to train and started taking training seriously, I could barely bench press 200 pounds after 2 years of consistent training. Meanwhile, some guys can bench 225 pounds after only a month of training because they already trained their body while it was more malleable, i.e., they learned how to train properly and trained properly at an earlier age, and they have better genetics. However, once again, this advice is not that important because it is never too late to start. And I'm still in my 20s, so I still have a lot of time and I have a lot of potential, and one day, I will hit that 225 bench press. And now that we talked about the things I personally wish I learned sooner, we will now talk about the other 3 things everyone must learn as soon as possible. So, the third thing is about making money. Even if you don't want to be a billionaire, you still probably want some financial freedom. And this is why it is really important for guys to be rich, at least to a decent level. And to preferably have a remote job and to be a freelancer. However, anyone who promises you getting money quickly is scamming you. Now you might be picturing some shady, pushy businessman selling you their course. But let me tell you, even the most well-respected self-improvement content creators are scamming you. Let me put it this way. Of all the self-improvement influencers I have seen, I have only seen one that actually gives good advice on making money. Hamza. Everyone else, they are like, learn dropshipping, learn coding, and you will make money, bro. But here's the catch. You are too lazy to learn those skills, bro. And that's why you're still broke, bro. Bro. And throw in an occasional, dude, I am not lazy. So I learned coding. No money in my bank account. It did not make sense to me. Those other guys who are broke, they are broke because they are too lazy to learn a skill. I am not lazy. I actually learned a skill. So why am I broke? 1 year later, I understood that in order to start making even a single cent online, you must not only learn a skill, but also do that skill consistently for an extended period of time without getting any money or anything else in return. Essentially, you gotta work like a slave. And during that time, you have to outperform everyone else who also wants money. And only if you successfully outperform them, you earn that first cent. Otherwise, you earn nothing! So now I try to become rich by making videos like this one. Because even if I have to work like a slave, I still enjoy doing those videos. So that motivates me to keep going. The fourth thing I wish I learned sooner. If you have dreams and goals in your life, you must start working towards them today. You want to become a professional footballer? Start playing football. And if it's the winter season and you can't play football, do some research and find some good clubs where you can apply. You want to become a music producer? Start producing low quality music on some free to use music creating software and slowly progress and become better. I want to be a man of high influence. So what do? Make videos like this one. For such a long time, I used to think that one day, some manager will magically come to me and make me famous. I was too afraid to get out there on my own, because I was afraid of failure and being laughed at. But now in my 20s, I have realized that as a man you are invisible until you give value to society. So I have nothing to lose, because even if I become a laughing stock, no one will see me because I'm invisible. The fifth thing I wish I learned before turning 20. You're not special. When I was in high school, I used to be the quiet kid, for the most part. While everyone else was having fun, I would just sit there in a corner, and I was self-aware of that. I knew I was a quiet kid, and I knew that quiet kids have no friends, and they get no girls. However, I always thought to myself, I am not like all the other quiet kids out there. I am handsome, I am sophisticated, and I love myself. Therefore, I should have friends and I should get girls. Why am I not getting girls? Yes, I may be socially awkward, but I'm not like all the other socially awkward people out there. I am sophisticated. I have multiple layers to me. And once you get to know me, you realize that I am not only a socially awkward kid. I am actually a Giga Chad Tyrone alpha male behind the socially awkward facade. Yes, I may be autistic, but I am not like other autistic people. I am a good-looking autistic person, so I should not be treated like all the other autistic people. And I always used to think, I may be insert any word, but I am not like all the other insert the same word. I am more this and that. Fast forward a few years, and I discovered Elliot Rodger. He was that quiet kid, but he thought he was better than all the other quiet kids, and he was frustrated that he did not have the success he thought he deserved, and because of that, he got envious and killed a bunch of people, and then himself. When I found out about that, it was basically a looking at myself in the mirror moment. Minus all the killing, I am against violence. But the point is, I realized that every single time that I claim I am not like all the other people because I am this and that, all of those other people think literally the same thing. They all claim to be handsome, sophisticated and all that. And the "you're not special" thing may sound like common sense. But really it's not. It's been more than 2 years since I turned 20, and I still haven't learned this last lesson fully yet. I still sometimes catch myself subconsciously having inner dialogues that roughly go like this. So I have just realized that I am just like everyone else in my situation, even though I am more handsome and more sophisticated. Shh. They all think the same. They are all more handsome and more sophisticated. Okay, I am just like them. I am just like them. Except handsome. Shh! Shut up! Shut up, okay? Okay, sorry. I am just like everyone else. I am just like everyone else. Except I'm handsome and sophisticated. Shut up! But anyways, those were the 5 things I wish I learned before turning 20. And now that you have learned them, hopefully you can live a better life than I do.